Alright guys, you asked for it, so here it is. This is going to be how to set up a 4x4. If you've seen the how to set up a 3x3, this is how to set up a 4x4. So it's a little bit bigger, obviously, bigger equipment, but it's the same principles basically. So here we go. This is, by the way, this is a Gorilla Light Line 4x4 with the 1 foot extension, so it looks a little bigger than you probably might have seen. But it's 7'7" tall by 4x4. So also in here I have High CFM support bars, so it keeps the tent from sucking in because of that bad boy. That way it doesn't encroach on your plants. So anyway, let's walk you through it. So as you guys saw in the previous video, I have a flood table on the bottom. I know it has a liner, but I do a flood table as an extra precaution because these tents are in my room. So if there's any holes in the stitching, I don't want that to be leaking out into my carpet. So extra step, I added a 4x4 flood table that fits right in the same footprint. So overflow, doesn't matter. Go for it. And I do run soil. I don't run hydroponics. I just use the flood table simply for precautionary measure. And it's for sanitation too. It's an easier cleanup. So, got that. High CFM bars. You don't need high CFM bars. I have an access panel on the back, but this is butted up against a wall, so I never use that access panel. You got passive intakes down to the bottom. I leave one open. In the summertime, sometimes I'll leave 2 open because this is in my room, so it's kind of dependent upon the ambient temperature of the room. But since I've upgraded my light, I don't really need to worry about that so much, and I will go over that in a second. So you've got 2 big old ducts down here to bring air in, and I believe these take up to 10 or 12 inch ducting. And then we'll go up here. We also have then intakes, or sorry, exhaust ports. So we got here, and we got one over here. And then down over here we have, a place to bring in cords. We also have one up here. We have another exhaust port possibility up here too. So then I bring in a power cable through that port because it's just easier to power my Spectrum King. This is a SK402 with a 120-degree reflector, and then it's attached with a ratchet pulley. And then up here we have the carbon filter. It's a smaller carbon filter. It seems to be appropriate for the size. Smaller than the 3x3. 3x3 I got a used one. This one's brand new. So this is a 6-inch carbon filter. And then it exhausts from the 6-inch to the 6-inch inline fan, and then it goes out of the tent and into an up duct that I use for an evaporative cooler. So that goes into the attic, or not the attic, I'm sorry, basically the attic space, and that exhausts out of the house, so it doesn't go into my room. The 3x3 is just coming into my room, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's got that going on. And then we have an exhale bag. This is a CO2 bag, and it's far enough down from the exhaust where it won't be sucked out of the exhaust, and the fan is able to blow the CO2 over the plants, so the CO2 will fall onto the plants here, and they'll get the benefit of having that nice CO2. I did an improvised thing to mount this this hurricane fan here. I had an extra kitchen rack, and so I took the backing off of it and I suspended it to the tent with ratchet pulleys. And so it's basically just kicking back here. I've got it suspended there, and then I mounted the fan with zip ties. And then that cord's going out of the tent. So that is basically the long and short of it. And then I've got a hygrometer here, so it tells me temperature and tells me humidity. Obviously you can see it's pretty low because I've been cleaning this tent out and letting these plants relax and veg and doing a lot of moving around. So now I'm going to be putting these ladies back in. I just did a whole bunch of training. I'm going to put these ladies in. You could do, with this tent, I had 6 10-gallon in here. You can also do, 7 7-gallon. This time I'm staying in 5-gallon just to do an experiment. 5-gallon seemed to be appropriate for the size you're going to grow in this tent anyway, because most of the time you're going to grow, well, at least I do. I grow the plants until about right here, right? And this is about, oh gosh, let me get my yardstick. So, yardstick, that is 3 feet, an additional foot. So you're looking at about, I try to keep them around 4 feet. That way they've got, about 2 feet from the light. So, most of the time you want to keep them about 2 feet from your light anyway and flowering. So, anyway, there you have it, guys. So another, I forgot to also mention, another CFM bar goes across the front here. So all sides are protected from the tent sucking in. If you don't have a Lightline series tent with these high CFM bars, you could always use bamboo supports to sort of attach to the tent supports, and then do that all the way around. That way it prevents your other tents from sucking in. So basically, I think based upon your size, just cut your bamboo to size, and there you go. So once again, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and feel free to take a look at the how to set up a 3x3. Excuse me. I have two videos now. I have one that was my prior setup with a with a standing fan, like a tower fan, and then I have my most recent setup, which is with just a standard 6-inch clip fan in the corner. So take a look at those videos if you are not sure how to set up a 3x3, and this was how to set up a 4x4. Alright guys, feel free to check out my other grow videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.